A very warm welcome to BBC Sport Africa. I'm Janine Anthony, and here's what we have for you on the second installment on this special show where we bring to you some of our best stories from 2019. We look at the threat of kidnapping that hangs over Nigeria's footballers and their families.
Because of what I do, playing football and try to put a smile on people's faces and try to represent the country and try to make the country proud, I'm paying the price for it.
He's the Olympic medalist who spent 2 years in exile. Ethiopian runner Feyisa Lilesa tells us why he's no hero. We head to Morocco for the female-only rally, where competitors do things the old-school way in the desert. And who was our armchair expert for 2019? Find out who top scored in our rapid-fire sports quiz. Nigeria may have come away with the bronze at the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt, but the players called the Super Eagles may have been forgiven if they had other things on their mind. Now, at the World Cup in 2018 in Russia, the father of the captain of the Nigerian national team side, John Mikelobi, was kidnapped for the second time. Now, he's not the only player who might have been targeted. Now, ahead of the June 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, Sport Africa took a look at this problem.
Fame, money, adulation. For Nigeria's top footballers, the rewards can be great, but success also has a darker side. With kidnapping on the rise in Nigeria, players and their families are becoming targets.
I thought my dad was gonna be shot because they said they will.
National team captain John Obi Mikel knows all about it. His father has been kidnapped twice. The second time was while he was away playing at last year's World Cup in Russia.
Because of what I do, playing football and try to put a smile on people's faces and try to represent the country and try to make the country proud, I'm paying the price for it.
Among those kidnapped last year was the mother of Samuel Kalu, one of the younger members of Gannett Roar's Nigeria squad. Kalu plays in France with Bordeaux, where Roar also lives.
Kalu, he was crying all the time. He was not sleeping for 1 week. I invited him in my home and he spent the weekend with us, with my family, and he could speak and call with his family all the time.
Kalu's mother was released 6 days after being abducted by gunmen. Families do end up paying a ransom when a loved one is kidnapped, dealing direct with the criminals. But that goes against the official advice from police, who say they refuse to negotiate.
If you keep the police away and you keep on negotiating, they'll get free cash and go, and still come back again to continue with it. So we are working on kidnapping generally. We are facing it head on as a challenge that must be confronted, and we are winning the war.
That's not a view shared by everyone, including those who have made it their job to protect high-profile figures from the threat of kidnapping.
Public figure, celebrities, footballers, that visibility you have, that money you're making that is blurred all over the news comes with a lot of implications and responsibilities. And we do not seem to have celebrity who think about this. Our law enforcement agencies have challenges, and the challenges they face are overwhelming. Most people, even with police involvement, end up paying ransoms.
It is the government that have to protect the citizens, and it's difficult to, when you're rich in Nigeria, you have to tread carefully. Every human, every citizen in this country, they deserve better, they deserve maximum security for them to be safe,
Authorities say they take the threat to the team seriously and have dedicated personnel looking at the problem.
We have always considered the security of those patriotic Nigerians who are representing our country in sports, then also looking at their families. So definitely the MPF is doing something.
The Super Eagles do have security attached to their squad when on international duty.
The kidnap attempts are becoming bolder, ransom figures are becoming higher, and it is becoming I want to say a national embarrassment, if not even a national security threat.
Victory on the pitch is important, but the safety of family members back home must be the ultimate goal.
Thankfully, the Cup of Nations passed off without a problem for the Nigerian national team. But the tournament was by and large a success, despite the fact that it was a last-minute swap as Egypt came in to host the tournament instead of Cameroon. However, one man was desperate to see that action live, and his name is Botha Nsila. Now, the South African superfan tried to hitchhike all the way from Cape Town to Cairo. It certainly wasn't easy. So here is his amazing journey.
I'm here in Cape Town, Greenpoint Stadium, where I'm going to start my trip, Cape to Cairo tour. The gentleman stopped. He was driving a big truck and he asked me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to Cairo." And the gentleman laughed a lot. He was laughing, screaming, shouting, asking me, "Are you crazy?" He said, "Going to where?" The roads are not safe. And sometimes you hike at night. You don't know which one is your friend or which one is your enemy.
Now they are refusing us the entry because they say we must have visa. We never knew about visa from these countries.
Very much, South Africa. Thank you very much. God bless you all. I'm now boarding now to Egypt. Thank you. The best is I've experienced the life of different culture, of different countries.
For many athletes, winning an Olympic medal is a moment to be cherished. But for Ethiopia's Feyisa Lilesa, that moment winning the silver medal at the 2016 Games came with real pain. Now, the marathon runner's action at the finish line, crossing his arms in a political protest, led him into exile. Now, 2 years after, and of course a new regime change, saw the man come home, and we caught up with him where he refuses to answer the name hero.
Many people sacrificed their life about this struggle. I was ready to sacrifice my life to the people.
We need justice. We need justice. We need equality.
After that, our struggle was famous. Everything changed after that. So yes, I'm part of the changing. I don't protest for my family. I protested for my people. When my family came to America, my people is dying. I'm not very happy about that. Now it's so very nice now on Oromia region. It was amazing because I don't expect that. So it's very wonderful day.
Ani sarras fundura dhaabadhee sadarkaa kana kanan ga'uu danda'e kan isinitti miidhamtan kan isinitti hidhamtan kan isin itti obboleessatti dhabdan abbaa keessan itti dhabdan waan ta'eef ulfaadhaa galata guddaan irraa qabdu isiniin jetta.
I have no hero. Yeah, people say saying is hard, but I'm not. But I'm very proud about my struggle. When I was living in the US, I worked alone. I have no coach, no team, and it's very hard. Yeah. After I come Ethiopia, I working with my team. I have a coach now. It's very good now. After 1 year, Tokyo Olympic coming, I want to participate again, just like another athlete.
An inspirational man with an inspirational story. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more inspirational stories right here on BBC Sports Africa. Welcome back to BBC Sports Africa on a special show where we're wrapping up some of our best pieces from 2019. Now, if you were driving to an unknown destination, chances are you'd have a GPS navigator that'll help you get to the destination, yes? But not this group of intrepid female rally drivers. Now, armed with only a compass and a map, these drivers navigate their way through the desert the old school way in Morocco's annual Aisha the Gazelles rally, where Celestine Karune was there to find out more.
The Rally Aisha the Gazelle is a competition like no other. 157 female-only teams racing with only a map and a compass. It's a race where navigation is more important than speed. And when you are in the middle of the Sahara Desert, that's not easy. The teams descend on the desert in Morocco, some 545 kilometers from the capital Rabat. They do 6 legs, traveling over 800 kilometers.
What happens if you get lost?
If we get lost, we get the point of the mountain here, and of the mountain behind, and we do a triangle to see where we are. Oh. So we don't never get lost.
The rally highlights growing opportunities for women in motorsport, but the Rally Aisha de Gazelle isn't brand new. It's been going since 1990, but much has changed since then.
C'était très très difficile.
It was very, very difficult.
Galérer.
I really struggled to convince people that it's serious.
Convaincre des sponsors, convaincre les gens que
because speed is a reference point for motorsport, and if you don't have speed, it's just a girl's day out.
C'était juste une balade de nana.
It's my gazelle.
She's kissing me, no fighting. At least for now, no fighting.
It's my second time. I do it in 2015. Sometimes I'm driving, she's doing navigation. Sometimes she drives, I do the navigation. We do everything together.
Bonjour, il est 5 heures.
We are waking up at 5 o'clock every day. Honestly, it's a hard rally.
So in a rally where there is no emphasis on speed, how is the winner decided? The aim of the rally is to reach all the checkpoints in the shortest possible distance. So how do you know you've done well? Once you get to the last checkpoint or when you get back to the bivouac?
For us, we've done well if we check all the points of the red flag and we came back before the night.
It's clearly a tough race, but teams can get help from each other in the Gazelle spirit. Help from organizers, though, results in a penalty, and the desert can be unpredictable.
It was complicated today, very complicated, because of an incident. I would not say serious, but quite impressive. It was for me my biggest fear, very scary, so very scary for the girls.
Despite the challenges, thousands of women apply to compete in the race each year. At the finish line, an overwhelming sense of pride and relief, returning to life away from the harshness of the desert.
We've succeeded in doing something out of the ordinary, and it's made a big impact.
The steps that you make, it is not really about winning. It is really about progressing as a gazelle.
Now for a basketball chat with one of Nigeria's biggest basketball stars. Al-Farouk Aminu represented his country at the Olympics and at the World Cup in China back in September. Now, the 29-year-old was born in Atlanta, USA, and currently plays in the NBA this season with Orlando Magic. Now, he met with me and we went through a lot of things that remind him of his African roots. So welcome home, Al-Farouk. It's great to have you with us. I mean, playing in the NBA, usually in the US, it's great to have you in Lagos because we have an interesting plan for you. It's called Nigeria in a Bag.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Okay, so I will do the
Let me see what you have in there.
I will do, maybe we'll just exchange. I do one and then you do the other.
Okay.
Let me see. This one. Ooh.
Oh, let me get that. I know exactly what this is. This right here just screams royalty to me. I remember growing up, seeing pictures of my grandfather with this, and my grandfather was a king in Ibaldens, and I remember asking my dad what it was for, and they used to go like this in order to get the flies away, and usually the chief or the king had this.
And that is your nickname. You're called the chief.
Yes.
So not a lot of people understand what that.
My given name is Aloyede, man. So Chief has arrived. That's my dad told me when I was young. That's what my name means, and I just ran with it. I thought it was a beautiful name.
What are some of the things growing up you enjoyed and you saw that really tied you back to your southwestern origin?
Oh man, the music, the food, everything.
What did you say? The food?
Yes.
Like I have a food here.
Oh, don't tell me you have some food for me.
Now this one.
Oh. Yes.
Very popular.
Yes, this is a staple. This is a staple. See, now this is amala, but I usually eat eba growing up, but
Is that why you're so tall?
Yes, of course, why I'm strong
that
too.
That is a myth. So with decongest all that, yes, you have a lot you're doing there.
Thank
so
you.
this is, we drop this off, and this is so important for you.
Yes, of course.
This bowl.
Yes, of course.
What is it? What does it symbolize?
The basketball, man, this thing has taken me everywhere, man. It's taken me to all around the world. I love the game. It's been a beautiful game for me. It's been able to help me provide for my family. It's been able to help me give back. I actually do a charity back in Ibadan, and we want to just empower the young kids that are there in order to be able to live out their dreams like I've been able to do for myself.
The Tigers.
Yes.
At the World Cup.
Yes.
I mean, it was just like a dream how this Nigerian basketball team started.
Yes.
And you know, the Tigers have been making history upon history upon history.
Yes, it's been beautiful, man. Ever since me and my brother have joined the team, the first year in 2012, we made the Olympics for the first time as a basketball team. Then we went to Afro basketball and won the first time we won Afro basketball.
Time now for our rapid fire sports quiz armchair expert. Because of course it's the best of 2019, we're bringing you the best performing contestant from this year. So it's hats off to Webster from Kenya.
I am Webster Mwangi. I am an Arsenal fan, as you can see by the crest on my shirt. And I am going to win today because I believe I am a sports machine. My favorite sporting moment is Dennis Beckham's wonder goal at St. James's Park in 2002 when he dinked the ball past Dabizas to score Arsenal's first goal in a 2-0 win, which propelled Arsenal towards their second Premier League title.
Webster, your time starts now. Who was the male winner of the 2019 London Marathon?
Eliud Kipchoge.
Correct. Eliud Kipchoge clocked 2 hours, 2 minutes and 37 seconds for a world record in London. True or false?
False.
Correct. Who was named the 2019 Female PFA Player of the Year?
Vivian Mediama.
Correct. Bridget clocked 2 hours, 18 minutes and 30 seconds to post a personal best in London. True or false?
True.
Correct. Who won the PFA Men's Young Player of the Year?
Raheem Sterling.
Correct. What's F1 in full?
Formula 1.
Correct. Name one team promoted to the Premier League by the end of April.
Sheffield United.
Correct. Who won the 2019 Bahrain Grand Prix?
Lewis Hamilton.
Correct. Which team eliminated Manchester City from this season's Champions League?
Tottenham Hotspur.
Correct. Name two players who scored in Arsenal's 3-1 victory over Valencia in the first leg of the Europa League semi-final.
Alexandre Lacazette and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
Correct. Which city hosted this season's European Champions League final?
Madrid.
Correct. Your score is 11.
I didn't get any answer wrong. That's why I'm the sports machine.
We wrap up with a sport that is not traditionally associated with Africa. Baseball will be making its return back to the Olympic Games in Tokyo 2020 after a 12-year break. Now, one country that had to pass up on the chance to qualify was the Ivory Coast.
My goal is to play Major League Baseball. So I am here, training to do that. I want to go to North America or Japan to become a better player and play in a major league. My name is Bedou Yannick. I am 17. I am here today to play baseball. I've been playing baseball since 2012. It's been about 6 years.
6 à 5 ans.
Baseball en Côte d'Ivoire, c'est grâce à un monsieur.
The existence of baseball in Ivory Coast is thanks to Nguesson Etienne, the president of the Ivory Coast Baseball and Softball Federation. In 1996, he fell in love with the sport while in the United States, and so he brought it here.
Le baseball revient en Côte d'Ivoire à partir de 96.
Usually, if we want to evolve and play at an international level, we have to play with other teams. In Ghana and Burkina, They are supported by their government. They have more means than us. It is true we have a lot of kids interested in the sports here. They come, they play. But when we don't have competitions, when we don't have funds, when there aren't enough championships, when there is nothing, they lose interest.
We have a lot of potential in Ivory Coast. Ivorians are vivacious. We are fast. We are tenacious. With more support and better resources, I think when the elephant starts to take steps, the ground will tremble and its presence will be known.
That's it for the show and our final look back at 2019. Thank you so much for tuning in, week out, every time this year. And also thank you for your messages. For sure, BBC Sports Africa in 2020 will give you the very best of sports across Africa. I'm Janine Anthony saying see you soon and have a happy new year.